Bismillah.
Ready?
Yes. Say Bismillah. Takbir. Takbir.
To get more videos of Abu Shuraim, don't forget to subscribe, like and share. May Allah guide and bless the person who shares the videos.
Doctor, if you can allow us to brainstorm or ask a few questions to understand the program better.
Yeah.
In Kenya, you can have a bachelor's degree with 2 teaching subjects. Yeah? You can have a degree and you have 2 teaching subjects. For example, you can. You can. And I'm giving an example. You can have English and Arabic. You can have Kiswahili and IRE, or Arabic and IRE. But I want to understand about the duration of the course when you talk about 2 years. Yeah? I understand if you have a diploma, we have what we call credit hours. I don't know if you've experienced about credit hours. Somebody having a diploma and doing PhD, doing bachelor's, that instead of 4 years, they can do 2 years. In Kenya, that is possible. If you have a diploma and you want to do a degree, the period is reduced, and they call it credit hours. Yeah.
Credit transfer.
Yes.
Yeah.
From diploma to bachelor's without taking the 4 years, maybe reduce the years.
Yeah, we call it RPL, recognition of prior learning.
Yes. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So where what you have studied is in an institution that is accredited, etc. Bismillah wa salatu wa salam wa rasulillah. The International Open University was launched in 2010 as the Islamic Online University. This was at a time where we were virtually the only university operating in this field, as an accredited university. The basic curriculum was Sharia and Arabic. So we were Islamic Online University. However, having graduated from Medina myself, did my master's in Riyadh, PhD from University of Wales, I understood that the student who is produced from the Islamic University in Medina and similar universities around the world, especially in the Middle East, etc., is not properly prepared for serving his community when he returns. Because, yes, he studied the Sharia, and the Sharia does cover everything. But he is not specifically trained for the tasks that he would be required to fulfill when he returns. Because when he returns, the community who have been waiting for his return, they expect him to lead them, to manage their affairs. But he never studied management. No. And I remember returning to Canada after I graduated, visiting different communities, and there was always this struggle between the people who had set up their community, who were from the locality, and who had management skills and knew what to do, but the graduate from the university was now brought in as the sheikh, and he is the one who is going to be making management decisions. So there was a tussle, a struggle. You could find it all across, the world where this scene repeated itself. The struggle between the unqualified Islamically management of the mosque or the community or the whatever, and the graduate who comes back with no training in management at all. So I realized that when preparing the syllabus for Islamic studies, we need to have some courses in management. So we added it to the syllabus. Then, when he returns, they have an Islamic school. They want him to teach. But he never studied pedagogy. Methodologies, he has no idea, you know. It's just whatever he learned in the madrasa, whatever he learned, you know, with the stick and all the other kinds of things. That, you know. So again, we have an issue. You know, how can he manage and run a school as head of the principal of the school, and he has no training in education? Yeah. So we said, okay, I said we needed to add to our curriculum some subjects from education. Yeah. Likewise, when he comes back, the community, you know, surrounds him and brings all of their problems to him. No, can you solve our problem here? This is husband-wife problems, yeah. You know, the business people amongst themselves, and you know, different, all these problems. But he's never been trained in counseling. No. He's not done any psychology. Yeah. You know, so what is he gonna do? Usually, the brothers who go and study, their father was the imam before. Yeah. So he'll go on whatever he saw his father doing, you know, he'll just repeat that, right? That's how it's been handed down. But I felt we needed to add to the curriculum courses in psychology. And also in economics, modern economics. Yes, we have Sharia, we have the, you know, muamalat, and you know, it's broken down and everything. But, you know, this system was developed 1,000 years ago. The world has changed since that time. Although the key principles are still valid because they are based on Quran and Sunnah, so they will be valid to the end of the world. We understand that. And they're still applied today. But at the same time, modern economics, he has no understanding of. So I added also to the syllabus Islamic economics. You know. And so on and so forth. I added additional courses to round out the curriculum for the Islamic studies graduate, for the Islamic Online University. That was for the first 4 years, our first year of graduation. And then when we entered into the 5th year, from 2015 onwards, we started developing each one of these additional courses, which became minors. So the student there's some courses in psychology he has to take. Then there are additional courses if he wants a minor in psychology. So he has a bachelor's in Islamic law, Sharia, with a minor in psychology. So from 2015 onwards, we began the process of moving it up from just being a minor to being a college. So now all of those different areas that we spoke about, they became colleges offering degrees in education, in Islamic banking and finance, in psychology, in business administration, in IT. You know, that's how the university evolved. And that's also why we changed the name from the Islamic Online University to International Open University, right? Because actually in some places in Somaliland, when we wanted to change it, the head of the department that handles universities, he refused. He said, well, I'm not going to change the name from Islamic Online University to International Open University. that is putting Islam down. Brother, this was not our intention here. It's not putting Islam down. This is just to give the proper information to the public. Because the public, when they hear Islamic Online University, they assume it's just Sharia and Arabic. That's it. But we're no longer limited to that. However, I should also say that being an educator myself, I taught high school in Riyadh for close to 10 years, 10 years plus. Then I taught university in Dubai for another 10 years. And I also taught in Qatar, for similar periods of time. So having been involved in teaching myself, and I must say that I didn't have the access to those courses that I would have loved to have had, but both of my parents were teachers. So I had that advantage. Both my mother and father were teachers. In fact, they set up the first Islamic international school in Riyadh called Manarat or Riyadh. And they set them up as non-Muslims. As non-Muslims with, a good attitude towards Islam, So they were asked to set up, they were hired from Canada, they came there and set up the boys' side and the girls' side of the school. And they invited me to teach Islamic studies when their teacher for Islamic studies went back to Canada, wasn't able to continue. So with that kind of experience, the university has grown, developed itself, established its headquarters in the Gambia, West Africa. Although if you go on Google and you seek the headquarters, they say it's in Qatar. Because I was living in Qatar. My home was the initial first office, and we were just operating in cyberspace. Although people kept asking us, so where is the headquarters? And we say in cyberspace. They say, what do you mean in cyberspace? What country, So we officially in 2012, 2013, I went to the Gambia and officially incorporated the university in the Gambia, being a 95% Muslim country. Yeah. So they were very supportive, and we laid the foundation there. We have the only, you could say, building with classrooms and things like this is there in the Gambia. Elsewhere in the world, we have what we call learning centers and examination centers that we operate along with. So from our experience in the Gambia, I would say that, alhamdulillah, we worked with the government, different branches of the government, and especially the Ministry of Higher Education. And and they reached the point where there was clear that they needed to upgrade the educational qualifications of the teachers of the country, because the product that was coming out couldn't meet the mark. They were failing in the West African examinations, etc. It was a challenge, big challenge for them, and it was the natural consequence. Not that people weren't doing their job, but it was the natural consequence. As the exams, as time passed, the exams became more complicated, more difficult, etc., and they were not able to keep up with that pace on a countrywide basis. Some teachers went back and did some courses in the university of the government university, and many didn't. So we proposed to them, the university, that we would provide a 2-year course which would complete their requirements for the bachelor's in education. So we began that with them from around someplace around 2017, 2018. We started the project with them. And this ran up till about 2020. Then because what we were offering at that time was only a bachelor's in education. You could say our specialization was English. English. The government needed specializations in geography, mathematics, science, and the other subjects. So we then modified the program where it became a hybrid program, online and offline together. What we taught was online. Then we had to hire teachers who would then teach the offline subjects to give the students, student teachers further experience, etc., from teaching, and cover the subjects that we didn't offer. So this is why I would say that you are a very good fit for us, yes. Right? Similarly, we can follow the same procedures. It's all been worked out already. Of course, you have your own curriculums here for Kenya, etc. So we can work together on this, and we would then be able to offer your graduates of the 2-year program a bachelor's degree recognized by your CUE, and because all of our courses are already recognized by them, and they're in contact with the accrediting body in the Gambia. So alhamdulillah, this is the right time, the right place, inshallah.
Just to add, I think also the universities are not only for Muslims, there are also other non-Muslims who are studying. And I don't think also for the students, even the lecturers who have got their first degree, they can progress because the education is there in various aspects. The lectures online, you can also benefit. And that's actually...
Yes, I failed to mention that also. That became a big factor afterwards, because the teachers now would not have to, if they wanted to upgrade their own qualifications, who already had bachelors, they want to upgrade to masters and PhD, then they could do it without having to stop teaching and go into university. They can do it simultaneously.
Together, and even if problems Ahmed and myself, and also the country rep will be available. By the way, we also started with Mewa at the level of college, which is Phillips in terms of the society in terms of myself, I earlier taught Mo University Medical School. For 10 years, moved to start Aga Khan University in East Africa. I was responsible for academic for Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda. Started from scratch, direct aid AMA, and University. So that's why we think we can be able to move as much as possible together. Thank you.
Maybe, Doctor, if you can allow us to brainstorm or ask a few questions to understand the program better.
Yeah.
In Kenya, you can have a bachelor's degree with 2 teaching subjects. Yeah, you can have a degree and you have 2 teaching subjects. For example, You can have,
or
you can,
must?
Yeah.
you can, no, you can. You can. And I'm giving an example. You can have English and Arabic. You can have Kiswahili and IRE, or Arabic and IRE. But I want to understand about the duration of the course when you talk about 2 years. Yeah? I understand if you have a diploma, we have had what we call credit hours. I don't know if you've experienced about credit hours. Somebody having a diploma and doing PhD, doing bachelor's, that instead of 4 years, they can do 2 years. In Kenya, that is possible. If you have a diploma and you want to do a degree, the period is reduced, and they call it credit hours. That because the same psychology, you have done it in diploma, you almost do the same in bachelor's course. So I want to understand that, I don't know.
Does that exist in your
Yeah,
organization?
yeah,
Credit transfer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Upgrade from diploma to bachelor's without taking the 4 years, maybe reduce the years.
Yeah, we call it RPL, recognition of prior learning.
yes, yes.
Exactly.
Yeah. So where what you have studied is in an institution that is accredited, etc., and it maps out with ours. You know, it's the same subjects covering the same material. Then you're given the credit for it. Yeah.
It's possible. It's
Yeah,
possible.
it's possible, it's possible.
The only thing which came up, and I remember during our meeting yesterday at the Mombasa Learning Center, there was an issue of, and this maybe has come up very much, but indeed if you already have people who have done their diploma and have already been accepted through a TSC to be able to teach, because there's been such a challenge, and people who have now become teachers, but they're not able to be, and they're not recognized by TSC, because there's a certain process that they're supposed to undertake. So Dr. has also asked them to engage the necessary authorities and the experts to assure whoever has done this online, because IOU is recognized, has been accredited by Q in Kenya. So they have accepted, so that there's people who have gone through this organization, through this university, they should now follow the necessary other bodies like TSC or whatever to make sure that they are registered and recognized, so they're not just being left out. So this is something beyond the university, but these are more domestic and the administrative issues which should be done now by the students with the respective university. So these are very important things for.
No, there is one thing that is very, very common and very simple to understand, is about, I take an example of those who qualify from Sudan.
Yes.
Yeah, very good grades they have, specialize in Arabic and Islamic studies or Sharia. They have very good grades, but the only problem, TSC or the examination body cannot recognize them because at O level they didn't have a C. Mean grade C. So that's a big problem. You can have a degree, but at a O level, if you don't, because you can go Sudan with a C minus or a D plus, you can go to Sudan and do your degree. But when you come to Kenya, they will say, okay, we don't recognize you as a graduate, or we can recognize because you have the knowledge. But according to procedure, you must have attained C plane in at your O level. So that's the C plus and above, or a C plane. Yeah, for those who have degrees, for those who have diploma. Yeah, diploma here they do it with C plane. So if you have a diploma and then you want to do a PhD, I mean, the bachelor's, the C criteria is not a problem. Yeah, it's not a problem. But if you want to do straight a degree without a C plane or C plus, is a problem. So
I guess you see, this is what Brother Qasim has gone through.
Yeah.
Experience.
So basically, that is exactly what we advise, and that is the policy of IOU.
yes,
The only the only certificate that is an entry level to the university locally
Yeah.
is the one that will be accepted by IOU.
Correct.
In any country.
Yeah.
So in Kenya, the case is C+.
Yeah.
If any student does not have C+, then he will not be admitted at IOU. He doesn't get admission at IOU.
That's the entry point.
And even with the O levels, they first have to equal to make it to equate it with the KCSE, and then if the grades are okay, locally they will also be approved by the administration
Yeah.
or the legislature. The other thing also applies that even with C minus or C plain, when the student has a diploma, but
Yes.
it has to be a 2-year diploma, then the high school certificate is no longer looked at, they will look at the diploma.
Yes.
The only problem now, we have people having diplomas which take 6 months to take, so those ones also are not accepted even at IOU.
Yeah.
We have a name diploma, but with IOU the admission is very strict. They have to be a 3-year diploma program. And with the visit with the COE, alhamdulillah, that is exactly what they told us. They told us if by any case IOU admits students without the minimum requirement that is C+, then they are not going to get the letter from COE. Yes.
So they're actually making sure that
We
they
are,
abide by the rules.
yes, we are strict with that, and we always maintain that.
That's good. That's one. Very
But
good.
I think just to structure the whole process, like alhamdulillah, the teachers and the students are local, they have not gone out. They have probably made certain criteria for them to enter into that course, so it shouldn't be a big problem for them. So I think at this point it's good now to see how we can wind up and see how the collaboration can be done, because for me I don't think there's anything to
Obstacles.
stop, obstacles to delay this. I mean, and OAU is ready to have as many centers and partners and collaborators in this aspect, because to make it readily available for the community and for people to work. And I think this is one of the best stopovers and the best cooperation we will ever have between this college and the AU.
Yes.
And I should mention that 1/3 of our students
Yeah.
are on scholarship.
Yeah. On scholarship.
1/3.
Yes.
Yes.
1/3.
They don't pay anything at all. So, I mean, the university is a charitable, it has a charitable aspect to it as an organization. Islamically, we are concerned most with the upliftment of the Ummah, the betterment
Yeah.
of the Ummah.
Yeah.
And we've even started a project, you could say a charity project called the One Mass Project, which is 1 million scholarships for African youth. I mean, it's a dream. But this we set the target high, and even if you don't quite make it, still you've done much.
Yeah.
So we have, on the basis of that, we raised funds from different sources to provide scholarships, because of course the university couldn't take it on itself, because the university has to have its self-sustaining sources of income to move ahead. So through the charitable organizations that have supported this with scholarships, we have reached the point that currently, as I said, where we have 1/3 of our students are
On scholarship.
scholarship. So what happened though, of course, when I came up with this idea, I was still thinking from a Canadian perspective, right? So that you give the person the scholarship and the job's done and you move on. But
Yeah.
of course, in Africa, it's another story.
Yeah.
You give them the scholarship, say, okay, what do I do with this scholarship? I don't have a computer, right?
Yeah.
I don't have electricity. I don't have data. So we realized eventually, within the first year of starting the project, we had to set up learning centers.
Yeah.
So this is with the next level that we went to. Learning center being basically a classroom with computers in it, electricity available, data available, and the students can come there and study in shifts
Yes.
You know, they can come in shifts. So those we have set up, you know, over 20 of these in countries of Africa. So we have a network of learning centers. Here in Kenya, we have how many learning centers do we have here?
We have about 4
Yeah.
exams and learning centers. In Mombasa, we have 2. In Nairobi, we have 2. More than 4. In Kisumu, it's just a masjid, but it's an exam center. Where the student can go to exam center. Some towns we have exam centers only, but they're not active learning centers. They're only exam centers where the students during the exam they go and do the
Midterm and final exam is done offline, so that the identity of the students can be confirmed. You know. Yeah.
But at the rate you're moving and understanding the aspect of IU, like the way you have seen it, and the ways you are looking forward to it. I mean, if people understand the concept, I'm sure we'll have more than 50 centers in this country. More than 50 centers.
We do plan to engage also the government, because we will offer scholarships to the government. We did in the Gambia. We offered 1,000 scholarships to the government, and you know they would play a role in setting up of the centers and covering the costs of that, etc., to make it accessible to the students. You know, so we would want to do something similar here in Kenya, inshallah.
But at this point, Prof, I think it is very important maybe, the principle, you understand? Because the studies here are not for free. We are charging something, maybe subsidized a little, and probably also having challenges for people to pay fees.
Yes.
It's important for doctor to understand. But in my view, I think this is going to be a great opportunity, where your students who are going to join, you're also going to offer is that you have an opportunity to have a scholarship to do your bachelor's. Yeah, at the same rate you are paying. So you see, there's a way of doing it to make sure that you handle that carrot for them to benefit, so that you can have their numbers here at the same time to make you also liquid as far as now getting, because I know there's a challenge. From your information so that you can see the way the Prof can answer.
So I think I will take it up. Doctor, you see, the board anticipated your visit and your discussions. We had not done any discussion, but we anticipated that maybe it will fall on collaboration or becoming partners. So as we are speaking now, the board has decided. So we don't have to go back and sit and review this discussion. No, the board has decided that if there is an MOU, if there is an agreement, we straight away go into it, and sign, and then the nitty and gritty will come details later on. But I want to happily announce that the board anticipated you are coming, and maybe the possibilities of certain areas that we can work together.
Takbir.
Allahu Akbar.
Takbir.
Allahu Akbar.
Takbir.
Allahu Akbar.
So, Doctor, we are ready. It's only your team that maybe can delay, but
we have a sample of MOU. Actually, I requested the administrators to send me a sample of MOU.
Yes.
You go through it,
Yes.
the details, and then if you are ready, we include your name, and
Yeah.
then it will be ready for signature.
good.
So I
I think
will-
from what the chairman says,
Yeah.
we are ready to sign it and then go through.
If you Correct. Any other comments? Because I can see the program was very tight. Anything you want to say?
From your side?
No, I was going to say somebody to move a vote of thanks.
Yeah,
So if you have not
first of
finished,
all,
you better,
Mr.
because somebody is moving a vote of
Yeah,
thanks.
we should be actually in another meeting by now.
Yeah, yeah.
Mr. Lali and your team, thank you very much, and I'm very grateful actually for the efforts. And as I remember, I told you I know the history of this.
Yes,
Really,
college.
spearheaded the provision of IRE teachers
Yeah.
in Kenya. And when I told you that the former Secretary of Supreme Council,
Yeah.
when they refused, we called for a press release
Yeah.
at what do you call the Supreme Office.
Yes.
And I remember one the journalist asked, is from Isiolo, I have not forgotten, he said, are you now going to give, because you trained, you are asking to have set up IRE teacher college, you have trained, the teachers have graduated, but now they cannot be taken by the government. What are you going to do? Are you going to give any what do you call
Subsidies?
Something to the government? I said, no, he said, Ahmed, by then he was also assistant minister,
Yeah.
the Secretary General of Supreme. I said, no, we have given our concerns, I'm sure the minister is going to take it. What was very funny was the following day, what was the newspaper? Government minister gives ultimatum to the government. I've never forgotten. How can you give your own government ultimatum? If you look for that, you'll find it. Because the government minister gives ultimatum to the government to accept this college. So, inshallah, now we are moving out of that. We are recognized, and we have both for the lecturers who can go to their masters in the various areas of specialization,
Yes.
and also the students who can move from the diploma to
To
degree. I will show you, inshallah, bi'idhnillah. Ahmed and his team
Yeah.
from my office will move very fast.
Thank you.
To really capitalize on this gesture.
Thank you.
And even provide an avenue for learning
Centers.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Today is 20th of Ramadan, 1445. I think you need to the minister. And as from now, I propose that Islamic College in Mombasa Kindani is one of the IOU learning and examination center. Takbir.
Allahu
Put
Akbar.
in your list as one of them. Because the rest is just paper. But the father has already given a consent, and the daughter has accepted.
Inshallah.
It's sealed.
Okay.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alhamdulillah. Barakallah fikum.
A vote of thanks, please.
Sheikh, I think my vote of thanks has already been diluted by the expressions of the members here. And it takes very few words to talk to people of IQ. On behalf of the board members here, the chairman already said we were anticipating this. Mine is only to say we thank God for forwarding you and giving you interest to come to us. We are so grateful. And mine is to say we wish that this takes the shortest time possible before we get started. Alhamdulillah.
Thank you. May Allah, the best dua we can, the best gift we can give the doctor is dua. And I say, may Allah bless you all and reward you abundantly for the good work you do for Muslim and Islam.
And we, and
I think the tree planted today marks the beginning of this.
Yes, correct.
When you go out, you'll see the tree has already grown.
Take the name and the phone number.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have the principal, so I will just request the logo, official logo of the original you sent to me. They will attach it to the MOU, they will finalize the draft, and then I will share it with the principal to you.
Okay, fine. I'll do that.
Yes.
I'll send you.
And even before the MOU, announce to the student that you can do your masters, you can do Yeah, it is. Doctor, you have given permission?
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Absolutely.
We have
But
posters also for the university.
the other
Salim, you are talking about the carrot, the dangling the carrot. I told the principal not to dangle, but to spin it. To spin it.
I was also wondering that, I mean, do you have plans to set up branches of this college in other parts of Kenya?
We have not thought of that. If you have a good idea.
Well, because we're going online, you know, so setup is now very simple.
Yes,
it's not the complex with the complexities of offline.
Right.
Yes,
with our system that it's not online because of the assessment. They have a very strange system of assessment. Yeah, they have accepted.
The one with the president of it.
Yeah. No. I'm talking about a program that we offer, opening a branch online.
Yeah, it will take time.
Yeah, it will take time.
Take advantage by you are automatically already online.
Yeah.
Yes.
So.
I think
To get more videos of Abu Shuraim, don't forget to subscribe, like and share. May Allah guide and bless the person who shares the videos.